Okay, in this video, we're going to go over customer pricing. So basically the way that it works is we've got a customer and I'm in the accounts receivable menu right now. And I'm going to go to number 16 on the menu. And I'm going to pull up this customer 1653. And if I do an F to flip screen, every customer screen has two screens behind it, if you will. So the first screen is their basic information. The second screen, we have their pricing break field. Again, this customer does a very high sales volume, and so we've set them up as a price category 8. So I want you to remember this number as we go through the rest of this. Okay, so I'm going to go to my inventory menu first. I'm going to go to 29 to master, 4 is inventory, and I'm going to do, let's go to 19 first. So if I pull up this category, there's two ways to do this, and we switched over to going cost plus because some of the suppliers don't have a straight margin on everything, and we wanted to make sure that if something goes up in value, we want to make sure that you immediately, if something goes up in cost, I should say, we want to make sure that you immediately capture that price increase. So the way that it works, this is the category, and we're saying each one of these fields is a cost plus percentage. So we want to achieve a 40% margin here. If it's a positive number, it's cost plus. If it's a negative number, we do list minus that percentage. So in our example, remember I told you to pay attention to that number 8. So this is cost plus a 28% margin. That's what we're going to do for this customer. So that being said, I'm going to go back to the main menu, not main menu, inventory menu, and I'm going to do number 11 here. And I'm going to pull up that same customer, 1653, and let's see, let's do a part number of 14-00209-00. Now, it says return for all stores, and that means these numbers are an accumulation of the total sales and purchases for all stores, not a one specific store. It doesn't default to the main branch. If you got 10 stores, these numbers here are accumulation of all 10 stores, both sales and purchases. Okay, so let's just go over the basics here. Number 8 for that customer. Remember, I did that 1653 was a customer, and so his price should be $20.46 when in fact list price, which is a 40% margin, is $24.35. So we're showing list price here, and we're showing the actual unit cost from the manufacturer. Average lead time in days. Product priority is how fast of a mover is it. This is one of their top moving products. And the primary vendor where you buy it from, we have the picking sequence is that location on the shelf. So if you had bin 100 floor to ceiling, one giant locker if you will, and then the letter K is the shelf, and the top shelf is A, second shelf is B, K being whatever shelf that is at the bottom. So we're saying a quantity on hand of 132 at all stores, and we are saying that we have 30 on order from supplier, giving us an available quantity to sell. By the way, we also have minimum, maximum. And I don't usually use these for a particular reason, but on an A-list item, it's probably a good idea. We let the system do that recommendation, and the formula works very, very well. So, now, also, I'm going to show you that same thing again, 14-00209-00, and just for store number 10. Now watch this. The numbers change. Quantity on hand changes, what's on order, everything. So if I did question mark 14 dash 00209, that question mark, this is stores and vans and everything. So a filter dryer is a very fast moving product. Excuse me. We're showing quantity on hand at each location. If you'll notice, that part number is replicated over and over and over, because not only is it at store number 10, we've got van number 11, 12, and then store number 20, van number 21, 22, etc. And that's typically how their numbering sequence works. And then if a part number supersedes, it will indent and show the other part number. In this case, that comes in a package quantity of 10, and when you receive it, we put it at the singular part number and have a singular price that extends out mathematically. And on this screen, if I do an X return, it goes backwards, and if I do a return, it goes forwards. Let's talk about some of these other possibilities here. So I'm going to go back and do 14 dash, yeah, let's do a different part number. What the hell? 17 dash 44138 dash 00. Okay, here's another fast moving product. Now, at the bottom here, well, I guess we're not showing it there. At this screen, if you just do the letter W, we have a whole option of things you can do here. We can show what other dealers have it in stock. So if I do a W8, it shows other dealers that have that part number in stock, what their quantity on hand is, and their annual usage. This is a way to get rid of your slow moving parts. It's a fantastic philosophy, and it works very well. Also, if I do a W again, and I can do, let's see, W4 shows me anything on order for that part. So these are open purchase orders with a particular supplier. Here's the due dates and the quantities that are on order. And the reason are three different ones. They're probably for different stores. But basically, this lets you see what's coming in and when the expected due date is. If I do a W and do open orders for customers, this shows me any customers that have that product on order. So I'll give you an example. If a customer wants to buy all of what you have, then you're only satisfying that one customer, and he clears you out of inventory. Here's a way to say, well, what other customers have it? And you can split that order. If you give the customer that wants them all just a few, that takes care of his immediate needs and gives you time to order more and take care of everybody. So if I do a W again, let's see. W11, let's do that. That shows if this customer has ever bought that from you before. We have a window that shows you up in the order of most recent to oldest. And it shows the order that he bought it on, the order that he bought it on, the date that he bought it, invoice number, quantity. Here's the last price he paid, and this is really, really important. A lot of times customers say, well, last time I paid this. Well, no, you didn't, and we have proof. A great example is a core too. You know, if a customer is, you know, digging through the boneyard and bringing back a core, we can see that he's brought back more than he has, because it would show up as a negative for a quantity. He brought back more than he's bought. But this is really, really important, and that way when customers play pricing games with you, you get to see it. It's consistent, but look at this. He got overbilled at one point. So anyway, and that also, by the way, works on the purchase order system. So when you're buying stuff, you can do a last, and it will it'll show you the last price you paid. So that way you'll instantly spot a price increase. Okay, that pretty well summarizes this. I just wanted to do a brief analysis. One other thing to note, that these quantity sales and quantity purchases, if you got somebody that's trying to win a free trip to Florida based on loading you up with product you don't need, it's going to stand out like a sore thumb on this screen. You're going to have purchases that way exceed the sales. And you never want to do that. It takes all your money in the bank account, puts it on the shelf, and you're left holding the bag. So that's it. Thanks for watching.